Hello everyone, Nika here with your daily neuro nugget. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are ready for the weekend. We are going to get started. I'm going to try to pull up the chat here on my laptop, but you guys know when I try to stream from here and here, it gets kind of chaotic. So please bear with me as we go through today's very important information because there's a lot we have to catch up on, right? You guys know I was not allowed to upload for the last 2 weeks, so make sure that you give this a thumbs up. We're going to be talking about unknown male DNA, B and D. Ann Taylor speaking out in one of the hearings. If you guys have been paying attention, you need to go back, rewatch it from beginning to end because it's very easy to miss so many tidbits of information, right? And now we finally know that nobody, not the state, not Bethany, not Dylan, not the frats, nobody, not the guilters, can deny the fact that unknown male DNA, B and D, come from BLOOD. And yes, I have to say that. Yes, I have to say red fluid because we know this platform is a little fun, right? So I'll watch my wording. In the good old days when this crime first took place, we all speculated and theorized, you know what, maybe we know that this was a very well-known party house. We know this was probably a DRUG house. We know that there were several males that were coming in and out of the house, which is kind of weird to me, right? We know that most of the people that lived in this home or were on the contract were female. A lot of males going in and out. So in the early days, a lot of us, myself included, theorized, you know what? It is very possible that this unknown male DNA is probably just from like people entering the home, right? So can't be. Hello guys, are you still with me? Please let me know in the chat if you guys are still with me because I don't know, YouTube is acting up again. I just checked my connection. It is perfect on both my ends. I have complete bars. So is this just the platform doing platform things? Is the chat working? Okay, thank you guys. So I was talking about now we finally know. Welcome guys, happy Friday. It glitched for a little bit. I was talking about unknown male B being BLOOD on the handrail, unknown male D being BLOOD on the glove outside King Road house. So now we finally know where this DNA source is coming. It's not just some kid. People used to say, guilters used to say, and still say to this day, it's probably just some frat boy, you know, that dropped his glove. It could have been an officer. But when now we finally know that both sources of unknown male DNA, B and D, are coming from red fluid, it's very suspicious, right? And Ann Taylor said, her words, not mine, Mr. Koberger gets arrested, he gets searched, his apartment gets searched, his car gets searched again, and there is absolutely no connection between him and anybody from 1122 King Road. So this we heard in one of the last hearings, right? And I'm just watching everybody's facial expressions, body language. And as soon as Ann Taylor sees this, I see Judge Hitler saying DNA match between the sheath and Mr. Koberger. Isn't that enough probable cause every day and twice on Sunday? So has this very sarcastic undertone. And not only that, but his body language is horrible. It's horrific because we know that this case is already very biased. I'm of the opinion that a judge should hold his composure, and part of that means you do not show what side you are leaning towards. You do not show your bias. That is not for you to decide. That is not for you to show because the power of a judge is massive that it could alter a jury's perception, right? But instead, we see Judge Hitler doing this, and he's like, oh my God. And we thought that Judge was bad. And yes, I've bit my tongue so far. I've tried to keep quiet about judge Hitler because I've wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt. But instead, now this body language is very, very telling in my opinion, right? So he also goes on to say, probable cause is not a proof beyond a reasonable doubt, right? So that is true. But he says it's probable cause to think the person might have done it. And that just goes to show, again, his bias, that he's saying, well, if there's probable cause there, I'm taking it like, well, then you think Brian is guilty, right? So all of us still need to find out why and how Brian's DNA got on that snap button on the sheath, right? That's still something that's going to have to be answered in court. We know that the defense has not denied that. They're not denying that this DNA was not on the snap button on the sheath, because it could still be there, right? But let me remind everybody here today watching, the sheath was found near a victim's body. So this was a gory crime. This was a horrific crime. This was a very red fluid covered crime. And the way the sheath was found was extremely shady. It was not found on the first go round. I believe it was found on the second go round. And one would assume anybody with any brain power, any neurons left, would assume that this sheath right next to a victim covered in red fluid would find this sheath also covered in red fluid. But instead, this sheath is perfectly clean, no sources of DNA except on the button. You're telling me there was none of Maddie Mogen's body fluid on this sheath? That is very strange, right? Nothing on this sheath. It's almost as if this sheath was, I don't know, planted maybe. And about unknown male B and D, Ann Taylor said that if the judge had been told, right, if the magistrate judge back in the day, the one who signed off on all the searches, hi Dan, I see you guys in the chat. My laptop, unfortunately, is not doing so hot with the chat at the moment. But Ann Taylor had said that if the judge had been told that there was a known male and blood in the house attached to the handrail, that might have made a big difference to her. And that just means that we are coming back to Brett Payne again. As a veteran, I'm disgusted to realize that this man is also a veteran, because that is something that should have been written in the PCA. You cannot leave the most important parts of this type of information outside of a PCA. The PCA is not going to have everything in it. There's not enough time. There's not enough room in a PCA for every bit of information. But this should have definitely been on there, because now what I see is it comes across as Brett Payne trying to deceive, trying to paint a narrative, trying to deceive the magistrate judge that signed off on all the searches, on all the warrants, that signed off on everything, right? It seems that, again, they wanted their scapegoat. And if you really want to paint this on the scapegoat, then you're not going to mention unknown red fluids from two other men in two other parts. The handrail, glove, and the inside the home and then outside of the home in the glove, right? Freaking weird to me, right? So let me know in the chat if it's working for you guys. Let me know, what do you guys think about the magistrate judge not being told about this extremely important information? We are literally 2.5 years almost into this case, and we are, a lot of people, some of us already knew, but a lot of people are just learning this information from the last court hearing. And to leave something out, I personally believe that this is something that Brett Payne should be accountable for. You can't pretend that there was not BLOOD from two other men in the house. That is shady as fudge, right? And I personally wonder if there is male DNA. We know it's listed as unknown male B and D. So who is A? Who is C? Is it possible that one of those is Brian Koberger? And maybe not. Is it possible that if there is an unknown male DNA A and C, that it's just completely two other people? And if that were the case, If they're now openly mentioning B and D, and if there is an A and C, then that is a total of 4 other people. I personally don't think it's Kopaka. I don't think he has anything to do with this. But what I do think when I think A, B, C, and D is I remember those 4 people that were caught on video walking on foot. Maybe it was 5. Believe it was 4, right? Wasn't there 4 black shadows? They looked very skinny people walking in the background. And I've always felt that those 4 skinny people walking in the background were the same skinny people that got arrested by those cops in Banfield, right? Do you guys remember that stop? That's just me being neurodivergent, being ADHD, seeing patterns where there are patterns. So it's just a matter of time, hopefully, before all of it comes crashing down. But the pessimistic side of me realizes that there is corruption in Moscow PD. We have known this. I covered Stickergate heavily. I even made stickers, right? Go watch my old videos. We know what the cops have tried to do in Moscow. So knowing the history of Moscow Police Department, one of the most corrupt police departments I have yet to see. Guys, I live literally downtown Chicago. Okay, we also have corrupt politicians here. We also have corrupt police departments here, corrupt mayors, we have a horrible history. Personally, I would rather take the corruptness we have here downtown Chicago than go to freaky ass Moscow Police Department for anything, okay? It stinks to high hell. Like I'm not getting good vibes from this whatsoever. And it's not even about vibes, right? It's about factual information. We know they're corrupt. So now we have to question everything. And the fact that Officer Brett Payne, Detective Brett Payne, willingly chose to lead the magistrate judge in the wrong direction, willingly chose to not tell the judge that there were 2 sources of BLOOD DNA found at the crime scene, near or around the crime scene, is extremely eye-opening to all of us. And it should be, right? Because we see the corruptness very clearly, very, very clearly. So I just wanted to remind all of you guys, look, I am open-minded. I think that all theories and comments, I welcome them, so long as people are remaining polite with one another. I know this is a very biased case. We have very strong opinions on this case, but just a little reminder. So let's see the chat. It looks like it's actually working today. Hi, Hoppers, Doppers. Hi, Sleepy Kitty. Emily, just for Kilo. Molly's here. Hi, CT. Hi, Christy. Happy Friday. Suds, what's up, Suds? Hi. I hope you guys are staying warm. Hi. Cheryl, hello. Welcome. And Emily's still here. Good. Justice for Kilo, down the rabbit hole to hell. I like that one. Open mind perspectives. Hello. Hi, Amber and Lisa. Sorry if I missed it. There's a lot of people in here today, it seems like. Hi, Jazz King. Bean, cute. And Ashira Alchemy, hello guys. I'm under the impression that the knife sheath was found later. Exactly. And that's the same impression that I get when I'm reading the legal documents. Again, how in the hell are we supposed to believe that first of all, they missed it, right? Okay, if they missed it, the way they worded it was that it was kind of under the body of the victim. But there was no BLOOD on the sheath. That screams planted sheath to me. And I don't have too much time. Unfortunately, I have to get going to job numero dos. So I just want to close with a friendly reminder to all of you pro-burger or guilter or whatever you identify as. Maybe you're just normal. Maybe you're just asking questions. You should always ask questions. Leave you with the closing thought that Ann Taylor's words, for people who are going to tell me that unknown male B stands for BLOOD and unknown male D stands for DNA, that's BS, right? Ann Taylor's words were unknown male B was for BLOOD on the handrail, and unknown male D was for also BLOOD on the glove outside King Road House, which, by the way, that glove had been magically missed by all of the freaking FBI agents that were all up in there, by all of the DEA, because I'm pretty sure that those cowboys are all DEA agents. I have some family members who are DEA and FBI, and they kind of look like that, more DEA than anything else. Those cowboy looking dudes. And what was there? However many agents, over 80 agents. We had Moscow PD, ISP was in there. Everybody and their mother missed that glove outside the home. Magically, this retired police detective shows up to the crime scene, just hanging out with his wife. Every reporters are out there, and he's like, "Isn't that a glove in the crime scene that was missed?" So if it had not been for that retired police detective, we wouldn't even have a known male D. We wouldn't even have that source of the known red fluid at this time today. If it wasn't for that random ass retired person who was just doing what he loved to do. So let me know what you guys thought about this video. Leave a like, leave a comment. By the way, Sud, since you are here, I wanted to let you know I did go out today and I purchased a $500 gift card for that veteran. I'm hoping to give it to him this weekend and surprise him and his loved ones. I think it'll be a nice little... It's kind of late, right? I think we raised this money like December, January. Now it's almost Valentine's Day. So it'll be a nice little Valentine's Day gift for him and his wife and his children as well. So thank you everybody who helped raise that money for that veteran. This is the second veteran we've helped. I'm going to try to get him to say a little something, but I'm not going to pressure him. If he wants to take a picture, I'll upload the picture. If he doesn't want to talk to the camera, it is what it is. But thank you guys to all who helped raise that money for this veteran. You guys all make a difference. So I just wanted to remind you, Suds, because I don't want you guys to think I ripped you off like $500 because I don't need it. I work 2 jobs to feed myself and my family. So you guys take care. Thanks for all the love that you guys left. For those of you wondering if I died, no, I did not die. Sometimes it's the Gonsalves army of hate. They come after us truth tellers. So if you want to really support the channel, I never ask any of you for money for myself or for my family. I hope to God to never do that. But I do ask you to leave a comment and leave a like because that really does support the channel. That's all I'm asking for. You don't have to donate to me to put a roof over my head. That's why I work, right? All I ask is leave a comment, interact with us in the chat, because at the end of the day, we're all family here. So enough ranting. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.